Pure Boys Podcast. You open your app, then listen to us, yeah. On and on and on, talking Christian movies, 'cause it's just the Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast. Pure Boys Podcast. Oh, hallelujah! Find the final. Hallelujah! Bless up yourself. The final episode of Maydea. Oh, I'm sad to say it. I'm going to be sad to see her go. But I love to watch her leave, if you know what I'm saying.
Heck yeah, she's got that butt.
That's, oh boy, and she knows how to drop it low. She's got a history that we will get into on this show, so... But before we get started, of course, this week we are talking about Boo, a Madea Halloween, the first but not final Halloween Medea movie. But we figured, you know, Medea is everyone. Medea is eternal, and we wanted to share it with as many people as we could.
It?
Yes, of course. Oh, by the way, I'm Zachariah Ty Bryant.
And I'm Jonathan Toilet.
Right, yeah, welcome to the show. We decided that we wanted to share the love with some other people. And so since we're talking about a spooky, scary Halloween movie, who better to bring on to talk Medea and all things Halloween than host of the Terror Table, Buzi. Welcome to the show, my boy.
Woo! I was hoping that you guys would just start playing the intro again because I was really happy to listen to that. That was a great song.
Asking you to receive, yeah.
It's smooth.
Oh yeah,
It's in you.
This is originally like a Mariah Carey track that you just spazzed out on.
Oh, that's Mariah Carey.
Yeah, in case YouTube is listening, that's not a Mariah Carey song. That is an original song by Zachariah Ty Bryant.
Originally, it was like a Mariah Carey type beat.
Exactly.
And then you guys spazzed out on it.
That's correct. Yeah. Originally, you might say it's a song called Fantasy by Mariah Carey, done by the beautiful Zachariah Ty Bryant. But you know, you got to make a theme song, and we've tried on a few hats, and YouTube has cracked down on all of them and said these are too close to the original. But that one, for some reason, slipped the algorithm, so we're good to go.
Right. So YouTube's like, I kind of like this hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the other one's just like, I've seen this hat before, but this one's like, oh, okay, what are you wearing? All right.
We love it. We want to ride a
This is
roller
the hat
coaster.
that fits.
Exactly. Throw in a crop top. Let's ride a roller coaster. Maybe ODB will be there. These are all fantasy things. No? Nobody has seen that video? Okay, fair enough. Just me. Fair enough. Okay, so this week, it's all good. This week we are talking about Boo, a Madea Halloween, but of course, oh yeah, I forgot to we talked about this off air, Buzi, yesterday, so hopefully it all stuck. But before we get started, before we get into anything, we need to start this episode the way we start all episodes, and that's with the Pure Boys prayer.
Right.
Mm-hmm. God bless
our
Medea. God bless all Medeas.
All Medeas.
I love you.
I love you.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you for being on the show, Buzi. We love you.
It's like I've always been here. The way I effortlessly pulled that off right there.
Yeah, that was our best one yet.
Easily, without a
couldn't
doubt.
have gone any better.
Definitely the best one we've ever done with 3 people, and that is not an exaggeration whatsoever.
Yeah, remember when we did it with the all boys choir and it just didn't work?
the bathroom boys choir. Yeah, of course I remember that.
I mean, I think it might be because there's too many boys. Like, too much strong personality can really poison the watering hole. But I want to say that, like, you know, I think we did a really good job. I heard what you were saying, and like a really bad connection, I just kind of like said some shit at the end that sounded like anyone was talking about.
Well, I mean, you got in the Medea at the end of every sentence, so that's the most
which is very important.
Exactly, yeah, and you know,
because it is Maydea.
Exactly, the last day of Maydea. Good Lord, I hope you guys had a great one. We definitely did. Although we've only recorded 3 episodes, the third week we haven't recorded yet, so whatever, it doesn't matter, but I'm sure that one will be great too. I hope it is.
That's Medea semantics, and you know, don't worry about
it. Very good point. Yeah. So
Medea semantics.
Real quick, why don't you tell us a little bit about like why you're here? What is the Terror Table? Why would we bring in you to talk about this spooky, scary Medea movie with us?
Okay, so I'm gonna take you guys back. It was nearly 5 years ago. Me and two other guys, and we were just hanging out, and it was like, guys, we're gonna start this horror podcast, and we're gonna try and get a little bit of credibility. But what we're really gunning for is that we're gonna try and find other people who want us to come on for Medea podcasts. So there's more. So originally, I think I mentioned this off air, so the dedicated listening audience doesn't know this, but I had actually listened to or watched Medea Boo 2, like years ago, hoping that, maybe a choir boys kind of podcast would reach out to me, but no dice. But here I am years later, and I finally get to see, not only I get to see other handsome boys and talk about our Lord and Savior, amen, but also
amen.
I get to find out what Medea 1 is all about, because I could finally figure out what Medea 2 is about. The unfortunate part, though, is that my long-term memory is not great. So most of my memories of Medea 2 have just been replaced by Medea 1.
I'm guessing it's probably the same cast. It's probably a very similar story. Medea wields a chainsaw on that one, I think.
I remember that there was like weed references, so I kind of had a good chuckle about that.
Mm-hmm. You got to get on that stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Bam loves it.
Oh yeah, Bam, Joe, everybody, the frat boys, everybody's on that stuff.
Joe, are you talking about Samoa Joe?
Yes, I'm talking about big old Samoa Joe, fired from the WWE. Now he's on that stuff.
Ex-WWE wrestler Samoan Joseph.
Also Christian.
Christian is frick. Yeah.
That's
South
Christian
Beach.
Cage to you, sir?
So I mean, we figured who better to come on to talk about horror movies than a host of a horror movie podcast. That's perfect, right? So
we're truly blessed.
I mean, I truly blessed indeed. And I mean, I have met some of Jonathan Taylor Thomas and his crew from his previous podcast. Sorry, not Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I'm really off on the name.
That's all right. I'm Zachariah Ty Bryant.
Yeah, Zachariah Ty Bryant. I was on his previous podcast, and I was like, yeah, this guy's all right, I guess. But I kind of just wanted to see who else would agree to be on a podcast with you, because that's important to know.
Jonathan Toilet.
Important to have.
That's right. So we gotta get God. We gotta.
Where's my bubble gut?
Yeah, my vacuum's out of control over here.
Oh no, Buzi's on that stuff. Before we get too far into everything, we have to go over everyone's favorite segment of the week. Jonathan, are you ready for this?
I am ready for this,
Perfect.
And I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too, but it's everyone else. We get emails all the time from people being like, guys, this is our favorite segment. Please never stop doing this segment. We know how much you hate it, but please keep doing it. And so it's time for...
The Kevin Sorbo Tweet of the Week.
All right, here we go. Kevin Sorbo Tweet of the Week. 2:27 p.m. on May 7th.
Ooh, late
okay,
tweeted.
So right after supper. Okay.
Exactly. Right after
brunch, lunch. Yeah. He's got something in his stomach.
Yeah, the poop has left the building.
Right.
So he's feeling himself. You get what you voted for. Happy? Question mark.
This is not a political podcast. Let's make that very clear right up at the top.
We hate politics.
Yeah, we hate politics. We hate Kevin Sorbo, and we hate his Twitter most of all.
You liberal cucks out there can go sit yourself in a closet forever. We hate you.
You can take a short walk off a long pier. How does that sound, all you soy boy liberal cuck lords?
Take a fast boat to China.
Own the libs right now.
That's right. That's what we're all about here on Pure Boys. Own those libs. Shut down those cucks, and, shave your pubes. That's what we're all about here.
We are not a political podcast.
No, God, no.
Amen.
Despite what every other episode of this show would tell you, we are not a political podcast. I swear to God.
Okay, can I ask a really derailing question for you guys?
Oh, I'll stop the music if it's not going to be about Kevin Sorbo.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Cut the music.
Yeah. What do you got?
Is Kevin Sorbo the guy who played Hercules in the 90s?
Yes.
Heck yeah, he is.
Okay, I unintentionally retweeted one of his things a long time ago.
Nice.
And someone had to tell me. It was a super old one, but it wasn't racist. But they had to tell me hey, 90s Hercules is racist. And it really ruined it for me. I know you guys are on the cutting edge of it. But it was literally something about he's hey, cancel culture. Have you guys ever checked out the what was it? the IRS or something, and I was like, hey, that's kind of funny.
He is not trying to be funny.
Yeah,
He is a
yeah, it was,
piece of crap.
it's really unfortunate. Like, is
Yeah.
Xena racist too? Do you remember Xena Warrior? Do you think she?
Lucy Lawless, she's a gem.
Flawless.
She's a saint. Yeah, Lawless is flawless
okay.
as far as I'm concerned.
She's not dead or racist.
No. She's a beauty. Yeah. No, she's great. In fact, she calls out Kevin Sorbo on Twitter. She's like, and he's like, I don't care about you. I'm making Christian stuff now. None of it matters. So no. It's she's great. Don't worry about it. Gabrielle is still good too. All the cast. Yeah.
And that body be banging.
Oh yeah, that body be banging for sure. Yeah.
You know, there are a few things that bring me solace in life, but knowing that 90s Xena hates 90s Hercules just makes me a good day for me.
It makes it better. Like, the fact that Hercules is a piece of crap is whatever. But now that we know Xena's got her back,
someone's got to be defending the average Joe Republican right here.
That's right. And
here to own the libs.
That's really who our prime audience is. That's who we're really trying to aim at. You know, as if we were holding two guns with the rights to bear arms. That's who we're taking aim at, is those Republicans. We're trying to take down this God and gun culture and own the libs at the same time. And I think we're doing a damn good job of it.
Yeah. Cuck me, cuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I got a hot cup of yiz for anyone who says otherwise. How's that sound? Scrambled eggs all over my face. That's right.
Yeah, frick you, everyone.
That's right. We hate it. Our Twitter is shut down. We're not allowed to tweet anymore, and so we can never tweet at Kevin Sorbo. But one day maybe Twitter will let us have it back.
Shut down?
Well,
what happened?
Well,
we kind of went crazy and we yelled, "Yes, I super picky" to a bunch of the Hollywood elite.
Yeah, and a bunch of
Twitter got mad.
Yeah, we tweeted. Yes,
are you telling me that they're trying to silence you guys? Like, they're trying to silence your voices.
Like cancel culture. Have you ever heard of the IRS? That's what I got to say to that.
Yes, I super picky.
Yes, I super picky. Hashtag stop Asian hate. Hashtag Sonic Movie 2. That was the tweet that got us banned. We spammed that.
Can't wait for that movie, dog.
Oh my god! I hope that
Sonic Movie 2.
Stop Asian hate. It's going to be the best Sonic movie ever. Sonic and Tails and Knuckles.
We all knew that the only gang that could get together and stop Asian hate was the crew of Sonic and Tails.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones?
Knuckles
Sonic,
the
Tails?
Echidna.
Well, it's
the Crushinator.
Yeah, there's the Crushinator. There's Big the Cat. There's Shadow. There's Medea. Yeah, right. We're doing a Medea podcast right now, guys. Hello, we're doing a Medea podcast.
Hello, we're doing Medea.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, we are doing Medea. Oh, I gotta say, Buzi, when you drink from your bottle like that, you look just like Aquaman in Zack Snyder's Justice League, just drinking straight out of the bottle, throwing it into the ocean. Who cares about the damage to the ocean?
Is this so if I drink it slower, is it the extended cut?
Please, I want to see how long you can drink it for.
Quick. Quick-witted and nasty.
I also love that throughout this episode, I've learned who 90s Hercules' name actually is, so I'll always keep that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm learning a lot right now, and I didn't, I came on here to have fun, but I didn't realize I'd be, learning so much. And I hope that your audience learns as much too about owning the libs.
I'd like to say that we're an educational podcast as much as we're an entertainment podcast. Certainly. Oh, yeah. We'll let you know.
Definitely.
What are good Christian movies? Spoiler alert, it's all of them. So it's like, you learn a lot every time. You learn we are the Watchers.
Number one,
the Watchers.
We're about God.
Oh, yeah.
Number two, we're about information.
Big man upstairs.
Exactly. I hope that he cares.
Number three, yes, I super picky.
Oh.
Number four, Yiz all the way.
That's right. Hot muggy Yiz. With feet pics put in it. That's what we're selling on our OnlyFans. By the way, Buzi, we have an OnlyFans where we sell feet pics, and it's like nobody uses it yet, but maybe we haven't even announced it yet.
Guys,
I don't know.
Really?
It's complicated.
Is that seriously?
Well, it's there.
The Terror Table actually recently opened up. We have a website too, and one of the links in there is for our OnlyFans, and it just gives you a step-by-step to how to sell your feet pics on the internet.
Oh.
So like what we wanted to do is flood the market, I guess. We wanted to show everyone, like, hey, here's the 3 easy step process for free, guys, for free.
Damn,
wow.
dude. We might have to take you up on
Wow.
that because we don't know how to, we don't know how to
just
do
on
it.
air to give you guys a little bit of free game.
Hit us
One of
with
the
it.
steps, you actually do have to not be wearing socks. It's a big part of it. A lot of people don't get it.
That's fair. What about like see-through like tights or something like that? Like booties, like tights with booties.
You gotta hold on. You gotta walk literally before you can run here. You don't just you don't just start putting on all this stuff here.
That's fair.
Feet reference.
That's the kind of quality content you can get from the Terror Tables OnlyFans account.
Informative.
In 4K.
We really need to get on that because we don't know how to do it. We don't know what we're doing, but we're going to make a bill off of feet pics, and our gross little hairy hobbit feet are going to make us a retirement money. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Bill or bust. That's how we think.
And our listeners will finally get to find out like what race we are. They don't know. It's a guessing game. Nobody knows. But they see our feet, guaranteed they know.
We're not going to color our feet.
No, well, we might. We'll see.
Yeah, we might.
Oh, hey, throw a little bit of intrigue in there. Be like, is one of them an avatar?
Is one of their feet an avatar feet?
just 1 foot.
Yeah. Well, here's what I've been doing. I haven't told anybody this yet, but since we recorded the episode that's going to come out in the future where we set up our OnlyFans and got that going, it hasn't come out yet.
Right,
Maybe it has
future
at this
episode.
point. I don't know. But I have been binding my feet like a woman in ancient China, and so my feet have a real nice
China.
Wait, are you binding them so they look like little roasts? Like
Yes.
little pork roasts?
Yeah. I'm really into shibari. I'm into like binding and being bound. So I've been tying my feet into little pork roasts, and
Right.
they look like a trussed up ham. They look really nice. They're black and blue because there's no blood in them, and I feel like people are gonna buy some pics of them pretty soon here.
Right. And the backup plan is hospital, right? I assume.
Yeah. I mean, my diabetes hates that I'm doing this, but I don't really care. Whatever, it's fine. Come
Right.
get me.
And you know what? I always say don't let anything hold you back, especially diabetes.
That's right.
All these people laying around like, come on, just because you're diabetic, come on, let's go.
Exactly. You know who doesn't let diabetes stop her? Medea. I'm assuming she has diabetes. She's a very large lady, so who knows?
One of her wrecking crew. Do they have a name, like a formal name? The wrecking crew here.
I don't know, but I know they're all criminals and hoes. Like they're all just like these.
Well, they have a hoe fund. Like you're a lifetime hoe when you have a fund for it.
The ho 1K.
Ho 1K. Ho 1K. Yeah.
Oof, that's a rough one to say. I don't know. Jonathan,
Well,
one of
Medea can get through it.
Well, exactly, yeah.
She can get it.
Man, she almost does in this movie, if you know what I'm saying.
Nipple tweaking.
Oh my God! All right, let's get into this Boo and Madea Halloween.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's go, let's God.
So we open on a frat house. Very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, I know your biggest complaint with Diarrhea of a Mad Black Woman was that there wasn't enough Medea in it. How does this movie tickle your fancy? Does this movie kind of fill that void?
Yeah, I love the 10-minute scene where it's just Joe, Medea, and Bam and Hattie just like talking about beating kids for like ever.
Oh, and how crucial it is to growing up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't be a well-adjusted kid unless your parents whoop your ass, according to Hattie, with her weird little arms.
Yeah, unless one of them sends you to the hospital
Mhm.
and the other one kills you.
I mean,
I
Brian.
don't know. There was some strong vibes.
Brian gets put on life support. He said, "I was 4 years
Yeah,
old.
he
I was
got-
on life support."
He got thrown off a roof.
Yeah, that's true. And a pencil went through his testicle. But now he's a DA, so you tell me if the
One
system works.
testicle DA.
Yeah, who's laughing now?
Exactly. You can't argue
The
results.
doctors all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Oh,
I just want to say that, guys, within the first, you're mentioning like the frat party. Do you know who some of those frat boys are?
I did a little bit of Googling, and like they're like YouTube and Vine celebrities.
Yep. The one main dude who comes down, like the guy who let's just say he is hair impaired, who comes down the stairs.
Ugh.
That the first bro there. He actually, if you go find it, he is a YouTuber who had a huge mental breakdown, like live because he started his own festival and nobody showed up for it. So that's just a little bit of fun, like, take home after. I did not realize he was in this, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, this is pre-mental breakdown him. So this is great.
Is that the Presidente of the fraternity that we're talking about?
El Presidente himself.
That makes me so happy. I hated that character. I hated that character so much. So to hear he had a real life mental breakdown is very nourishing to my soul. That's great.
Yes, he is not in a good place right now, and this might be long-term effects of that. But I will say that they did also have Dom Mazzetti, who is a YouTuber. If you guys are into being douchebags at all, he has a series about fitness. He like makes fun of everybody. He's the other bald guy.
The Guido? The guy who's that guy I hated too. Ugh.
He also he's a YouTuber. He's a little he hasn't had a mental breakdown yet, so not as interesting. Whatever. He's still like doing good right now, which sucks, I guess. And then the other guy is Jimmy Tatro, who actually is funny. He was the only person in this movie. I was like, "What are you doing here, Jimmy?"
That guy's like he's in stuff, right? Like I feel like I recognize that guy. He's in like
he's actually like a big, and he did like College Humor and shit. Like he's actually like a comedian.
Is he in like one of the Jump Street movies? I feel like he's in.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
He was in like what was that? The which one where the dudes need dates? Zach and someone need dates or whatever, wedding dates or whatever. He was in that too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I can't clock it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know frat humor, Buzi.
Okay, sorry. I had to do my frat research. I was like, okay, there's frat guys here. I know some of these people are.
The girl, the Reverend's daughter, is also like a YouTuber, Vine celebrity, and honestly, probably the cutest person in this movie, if I'm being honest. But
well, aside from our leading lady.
Well, of course, yes, of course, yeah.
Medea.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. The titular Medea, putting the tit in titular Medea. There's a lot of Medea like tit play in this movie. It's weird how much like
she
action
showed
they
off
get.
the ladies.
Yeah. Not to us, unfortunately, but to some lucky frat boys.
Yeah, and she let the whole gang feel. What was in the name of what though? Like what was the? I can't even remember why she let him fly.
Well, we're jumping ahead here, but that's okay. So Medea,
sorry.
No, it's all good. Medea goes to the frat house because that's where her niece is, or something like that. And then she walks, it's a Halloween party. She walks up and immediately one of the frat boys just honks her boob and is just like, "Meh," and she slaps the living daylights out of him, aka the DVD of the living daylights, James Bond, flies out of his jacket. And then she's like, "You don't think they're real?" And then she rips her blouse open and shows off her Yabos to all those cool frat boys.
What a sight to see. I'm surprised they didn't have any like god rays coming out of her chest.
That would have been comedy gold right there. Mm-hmm. There's, are you hired for Punch Up? Because I feel like there's a future for there right there for you.
Yeah, it's like
I am hired for Punch Up. That's the only thing I do.
But only for Pure Flix originals. We only want to work with David A.R. White, creator of Pure Flix. That's the only person that we're interested in collabing with on a theatrical level or a streaming level. That's fine too.
Or maybe a YouTube series?
I don't know if Pureflix has dabbled into that yet. We're trying to get a morning show on Pureflix. We're trying to get we want to do like a wake up world on Pureflix. That's like that's the whole thing we're vibing for. Unfortunately, our Twitter shut down.
Is there like an option where you guys like, can I eat with you? Is that an option? Like I when I look at you guys, I'm like, I want to have yogurt in the morning, yogurt and granola, a little side of granola with my guys in the morning. Is that
maybe we'll call it yogurt in the morning.
Oh yeah,
yogurt with a side of granola in the morning, because I think there might already be a yogurt in the morning. So add that little side of granola.
Sure, yeah. It's a good.
How about Yiz in the morning?
Yeah, there you go.
Yuck in my yum. That's what we'll yuck in my yum in the morning. For the listeners at home, that's called a Greek breakfast, and only 3 of you will get what that means.
I don't know what that means.
You don't, because it's not a thing that I think you were privy to. So let's move on, because it is disgusting. So let's keep moving. Yes, God bless all of us. The boys are throwing a big epic Halloween party. They want to have the best Halloween party ever.
A big epic outrageous.
Oh God.
Yeah. They're known for the party in town. They're known for the Halloween party.
So we kind of forgot that was a part of 50 years running or some shit like that. So they're acting like they had never done it before, but they would have just done it the year prior.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the fact that they were like, "Hey, we got this guy who does like makeup." It's like, what happened to the guy last year that did makeup? You don't have a crew for this kind of thing. How many new frats are there this year? I hate those.
How do you have the consistency to blow everyone away every year without a solid crew?
And like, how do you keep one-upping yourself? At a certain point, you've got to hit a limit. And based on the party they throw, I mean, spoiler alert, they do get pedophile Tyga to perform at it, which is like a pretty big get for 2016. That's pretty exciting
Is that
stuff.
his full rap name?
That is his full and a Christian rap name. That is his Christian name, pedophile Tyga. I can say that. He was sleeping with a 15-year-old when he was like 20 or something like that. So Tyga is a total absolute creep as far as I'm concerned.
Right. So I mean, like the start of his career when his name was not a pedophile, like that was cool up until they had to change the rap name.
That's right. He ended up dropping a pedophile Tyga. He ended up dropping a pedophile out of his name because they were like, you know, it's just with your actual pedophilia that you're doing, it's like, that's not a good look for us. Maybe drop that so we don't draw so much attention to it.
It's kind of like how if P. Diddy, like instead of like it being Puff, it was like pedophile, so they just had to remove it after a while, so he just became Diddy.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's the true tale.
Well, I think that's what the P in P. Diddy stands for, though. Pretty sure that's pedophile Diddy, full name.
Right, it was a warning. It was a warning for everyone.
Oh, it's even worse than I thought. Oh, God. So, Tyga is 8 years older than Kylie Jenner, and they were dating when she was very young. She was like 15 or 16, and if he's 8 years older than that person, then he is deep in his 20s at that point. So, Tyga, we hate you. Just kidding. You're super
we hated
cool.
you.
Mm-hmm.
The world has certainly changed.
Truly, it has. Frat parties, no longer a thing. Totally canceled by cancel culture. Tyga, no longer a thing. But in 2016...
Still alive, but no longer a thing.
That's true. I mean, God, do you guys remember Young Money? Do you remember how awesome Young Money was?
How can you forget Young Money?
I forgot about him.
Oh my gosh, Jonathan.
How? It's like forgetting about Dre. You just don't.
That's they won't let you. As hard as you try, they go, no. Remember Bedrock. Remember that song? Remember? Yes, I do. Gooda Gooda. Remember him? You don't. Neither do I.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. You know, or all the other talented people on the label, like so and so,
Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake. There's some heavy hitters from Young Money. Pedophile Tyga. Manbird. He's definitely a part of it. He's probably the flyest out of all of them. Thank you very much.
True.
Guys, Brian Simmons, what's your take on District Attorney Brian Simmons? What do you think of
Sexy.
He's looking good in this movie, I gotta say. He's sounding the most
He's
like
acting
Tyler
a
Perry.
lot like Medea at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like he's got a stank to him, and I think he forgot that he wasn't supposed to be Medea.
Well, there's many times in this movie where Medea just talks in Tyler Perry's voice, and I'm like, the worlds are getting too intermeshed here. You gotta keep them separated, as The Offspring once said. You can't be dropping your voice, Medea. Ugh.
So was you kind of losing your immersion when that happened? Like maybe they just didn't have room to do another take. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. They were filming on actual film, and they only had so much, and they're like, well, whatever we get, we
yeah,
get.
like that's how I prefer to look at it. Is like Medea, like Tyler Perry's also the director, so he's kind of standing around like wearing the blouse or whatever, but doesn't have the hat on, the hair on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we got to do a Medea scene, and he's talking to an agent or something. And he quickly Marge Simpson throws it on, kind of deal. That's just how I imagine that went, and I will excuse him for those wrongdoings.
I'm going to be honest. I picture it the exact opposite. I picture him in full Medea makeup the entire shoot, and then they film the Brian Simmons stuff afterwards with like a skeleton crew of people. But on the set, he is Medea, and he never comes out of character, and he is just like whooping people's asses and telling people not to smoke weed.
Sending them to the hospital.
Exactly, yeah. Either way it could go, yeah.
I think he has like a crew of midgets that like hold up a bunch of costumes and are just ready to go when he needs to jump into a scene.
I love the idea of them holding up costumes and being like, is this one good, Medea? And him being like, no. I can't really do a good Medea.
Hold don't hurt.
You get the pudding.
Oh, we see when the quarterback throws the ball. And... Classics, everyone.
Tyler Perry is Bill Cosby.
Oh my God! Wow.
Oh no!
Oh.
I caramba on that.
I would love to see Medea do a remake of like Ghost Dad. That's just like Ghost Aunt, Ghost Medea. That's fine too.
Okay, can I ask you, like,
Please.
know, because it is, Maydea. I have to wonder, when was the last Medea cult hit? When did the last Medea movie come out?
2019.
I'm not 2019. Okay.
2019, Medea Family Funeral, and that is officially the last Medea movie, according to Tyler Perry. We'll see. Tyler Perry, Buzi, I don't know if you know this, Buzi, but Tyler Perry is a gosh damn billionaire with a capital B, so he doesn't have to keep making Medea movies. He does them for us, as gifts to us.
Right.
And so,
as well as he's probably very sick and working through some deep emotional damage. But, I'm going to go with the first part as well.
There's no way Medea...
Emotional damage.
Exactly. There's no way Medea isn't inspired by real people that Tyler Perry knows. She's too perfect of a person to not be inspired by real people. But yeah, that's the last one. Medea Family Funeral. I don't think we're going to cover that one this Medea. We'll probably save it for next Medea. Because, and then we'll run out.
You guys, neither of you guys have seen it, though, right?
No, sir.
I have not seen it. I have not seen a lot of the Medea movies. This is only my third
That's a real
viewing.
shame. That's a real shame.
Yeah, for real. I'm a huge Medea fan. This is like, I've seen now most of them. I think I'm still, there's 3 I haven't seen yet, but I've seen the rest of them. So,
can I ask, is there like a rhyme, is there a timeline?
Yes.
These, or can I watch? Oh, there is.
No,
actually.
yeah.
I can't just watch them in any order.
Buzi, if there's one thing you should know about me is I love continuity, and these movies have a consistent continuity through them all, and it is, especially this one, is completely bonkers when you look at what happens in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which introduces Brian Simmons, Tiffany as a young girl, Brian's ex-wife Deborah, and Medea and Joe. The journey that they take from that movie to this movie is buck wild.
Yeah, from Milan to Minsk, this is quite the journey. To see Tiffany all grown up was a shocker, because I basically went from
you grew up with her
diarrhea to now, and it's a huge difference.
It's like I think there's 10 years between those movies. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Diarrhea came out in 2006. This came out in 2016. So I'm pretty sure it's like, a solid decade there. In Diary of a Mad Black Woman, just to catch you up, Buzi. Listeners, you already know this, but just bear with us.
Let's hit me.
Tiffany, okay. Oh boy, where do we start? Brian is Medea's nephew. He's Joe's son, right? He's a district attorney in Atlanta, in Hotlanta. His wife, Deborah, in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, is on that stuff. And her life has fallen apart.
Like the real bad stuff.
Hard stuff. She's living on the street. He has kicked her out of their house.
She's stuck in the trap, can't get out.
Exactly.
Well, she started singing for the church choir, and that's when you know things go wrong. That's how she got on the stuff.
That's the dark entry right there.
Yeah, but that is what happens. Tiffany is a little girl in that movie, and her whole goal, she wants to sing in the church choir, just like her mom who's on that stuff. And Brian's like, baby, you can't sing in the church choir. If you sing in the church choir, you're going to get on that stuff just like your mom. Tiffany's like, Dad, you got to let me. Finally, Medea talks some sense into Brian. He lets Tiffany sing in the choir. At the end of the movie, Tiffany's mom, Deborah, comes back and it sings this beautiful song in the church. All the stories get wrapped up in the church at the end. It's a beautiful moment. And Medea's not there, obviously, because she's Lutheran. She doesn't fall for that stuff. But yeah, so Brian, their family kind of heals in that movie. Deborah gets off the stuff. Brian takes her back. Tiffany sings in the church choir. And then we get to this movie.
What a happy ending. Wow.
But, dreams don't last forever.
The good times never last.
Nope.
They never do.
This is about real life. Things happen.
Do they ever? Jonathan, do you want to tell us what happens to this beautiful family in between Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Diarrhea, and this movie?
This definitely was not the story here.
No,
I don't know.
Sure. It was heartbreaking.
But I haven't seen these movies.
Well, But here's the thing. You've seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman and you've seen this movie. So you've seen the whole story of the Brian Simmons family, essentially. It doesn't really get brought up in any of the other movies.
See, I thought I missed stuff.
No.
Are you telling me the only time that they ever bothered to wrap up or add anything to the story was the Halloween special?
Yes. So
they really thought they needed to nip the bud in this one.
This is truly a Halloween special. This isn't one of those Halloween specials where you can watch. You don't have to watch it and it doesn't matter. It's not a Treehouse of Horror. This is Medea.
Oh yeah. There's real stakes. Real things happen in this movie. Deborah cheated on Brian and then left him, and their whole marriage broke apart. And now Tiffany wants to be some hoe, and she's hanging out with frat boys. She's lipping off to her dad. She doesn't even sing in the church choir.
She's trying to get her HOA 1K or whatever.
Exactly. Well, you nailed it on that one, actually. That's the perfect, you nailed it. And it was heartbreaking. As someone who is deeply invested in Brian and Deborah and Tiffany and the son, whatever his name is, it was heartbreaking to see the way they did that whole family dirty in this movie. But, things change.
So do you think maybe Deborah, relapsed? Do you think she was, back on this stuff? Or,
I think she was back on the dink. I don't think she ever went back on the stuff. I was so excited to see her. When Tiffany goes back to the house, I was like, where's Deborah at? Show me that wife.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this happy ending. And you find out she's at another place, and Tiffany's supposed to go there for the weekend. But
and Deborah can't even facilitate that.
No. And Deborah's remarried. She cheated on Brian and then married some other guy. Brian helped you get off that stuff.
Brian's the problem, though? I'm saying
it might be
Brian's the problem.
It might be. It might be Brian, actually. Yeah, Brian's a real.
Well, he's acting like Medea all the time.
Life together. Yeah.
She abandoned her family. She got a new family. She was like, "Peace, I'm out of here," and everyone went.
Yeah, she's doing great for herself. She's living in Florida. She works at Disneyland making dresses for the, all the Mickeys and stuff. It's great.
Oh, that would be the dream life, actually. Yeah, sisters are doing it for themselves for real.
I mean, poor Brian. First, she gives up her family for cocaine.
Well, we don't know it's coke.
Then
it's the stuff.
It's the stuff.
Are you telling me 1988's the stuff? The goo, the literal
the good stuff.
Oh yeah, she all throughout the movie, Brian kept looking right into the camera, going, "Here comes the goo," and then it would, Deborah would come into the screen.
That's what I was saying when I was watching this film.
Oh, Medea out there flapping, shaking what her mama gave her. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait,
man.
Guys, this was the wildest of the Medea movies. So, and Jonathan, you haven't seen a Medea Christmas, which up until I saw this movie, I thought, oh, the Christmas one is the wildest of the movies. Spoiler alert, Larry the Cable Guy is in it, and he teaches Medea about racism. That's how crazy that movie is.
I was going to guess racism as a fun little joke, but the fact that he actually did teach her about racism, you can't write this stuff. Well, I guess you can, but they did.
You do.
They did it.
And he doesn't teach her in the sense of hey, I'm Larry the Cable Guy and I'm racist. He teaches it to her in hey, I'm Larry the Cable Guy and you're racist, Medea, and it's wild. It's crazy. And this movie somehow topped all of that.
So he white splains to her?
I mean, in his defense, Medea is being totally racist towards him in the movie. She is, well, anyway, we're not here to talk about Medea Christmas. We're saving that one for Christmas.
Right.
Just know, listeners, that's a wild movie, and I can't wait to talk about it with everybody. This movie, though, gosh, I mean, it basically boils down to Medea versus the frat house. That's what the whole central premise of this movie is. The frat boys, Tiffany sneaks out.
Well, let's not forget the gang. They're there too. They're getting chased around too.
Are they?
Yeah,
Are
everybody's
they
there. Bam's there. Old Man Joe.
Yeah, Bam Margera, old man.
The ghost of Ryan Dunn. Everybody's there. Jeff Tremaine, Rab himself, Rake Yawn. All of the great Jackass crew is there.
All the
large
Jackass
one, the small one.
That's. I mean, I feel like that's something Joe would call the crew. Be like, yo, the big one, yo, the small one. You just, yeah. How much did you love Joe just constantly being like, hey, by the way, Medea is a man. Like looking into the camera and being like, just so you know, she's a man. Like he says that like two or three
I feel like
times.
he was just like raining on everyone's parade. Like we're all like, okay, we're enjoying the subversion that we know this is Tyler Perry being a woman, but whatever. And he was just in there like rubbing it in my face.
I got news for you.
He was like a bad sativa during the movie.
Well, I got news for you,
There
Buzi.
were so many references to Medea being a man. Like, does this happen in other Medea movies?
Not really.
I thought the joke was that it's a woman and you never talk about it.
Well, Joe is
ruined it for me now.
But Joe's her brother, and so as her brother, he's always razzing on her. By the way, he's also played by Tyler Perry, so it's weird that Tyler Perry would blow up his own spot like that. I know, right? The makeup is flawless on Joe. Just kidding. It's the worst Joe's ever looked in this movie.
That hand makeup, it looks like he's wearing a loose glove. Like, it's gross.
It looks like it's someone's like old loofah. You stayed over at their place and had to use it, and it's just like whatever's left.
It's just buffed clean. It's just buffed smooth. There's nothing to it. There's no cracks or lines in it. There was a shot from a distance where I was like, oh, in the movie that we haven't watched yet, does Joe get his hand cut off and now he has a wooden hand? Because it looked like a fake hand. And I went, oh, it is a fake hand, but it looked like a prosthetic hand. And I went, oh man, we have missed some crazy stuff in Medea's Witness Location, or whatever that next one's called that we have to watch.
Yeah, like, just use your hand, Tyler Perry. Why put makeup on Joe's hand?
Right? You don't put makeup on Medea's hands. You don't even put nail polish on her hands.
Maybe it's for him to feel more immersed. Like when he's actually sitting in the costume, he can look at his hands and be, I'm an old man now.
That's true.
Give me my hands.
Yeah, give me my old man hands.
When he's Medea, he gets to look down at his big old Yabos. But with Joe, there's nothing to really signify from. He can't see his own face.
Yeah,
so he's got to have a body part.
Yeah.
Am I Joe in this scene? Am I Brian? Who am I now?
Do you think he's ever slept in his Medea costume?
I mean,
had to. After a long day of shooting, he's not getting out of that.
If they're wrapping at like 11 p.m. and he's got like a 4 a.m. call time, he's sleeping in it all night because it's going to take too much time to put on the costume again, right? So definitely,
I want to know what it feels like to sleep like a woman.
I want to know what his wife thinks about it.
Oh, she's down to clown, man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I bet she just like snuggles up on those big Yabos and is just like, I love you, Medea. And she's like, I love you too, child.
Motorboat.
I mean, I'm sure it is true, but I think it's because he's so good at it that, maybe that's got to be the stuff that keeps her up on like a Thursday night at 3 a.m. when he's sleeping. She'll be like, hey, Tyler, you sleeping? And he'll, obviously he's out. And she's just like, why do you do all the Tyler Perry stuff? And she'll probably never have those answers.
No, guys, I have some.
Why are you doing the Medea stuff? Like,
I got some wild news for you guys. Tyler Perry is not married. Tyler Perry has been dating a woman named Jalila Beckel, who is a model. But in 2020, he's been dating Jaleel White. And they dated from 2009 to 2020, and then they broke up. So Tyler Perry, famed billionaire, is single. He's free. Yeah, he's a free agent right now. He's free as a bird. So hey, Tyler Perry, if you like feet pics, hit us up. We'd love to sell you some feet pics.
You know that like he hit that, and he's single, and it's what 2020. And the coronavirus hit or whatever, but he probably just has like a harem of women over there. Like
he's a billionaire.
Tyler Perry, it's just a house full of that stuff and whatever else is going on. It's just a good time. I don't blame him. I'd do the same thing.
It's just dripping milk over there all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this on a previous episode, but he definitely has a room that's just full of all the Medea bodies. And so when he brings like a dime piece home, he's like, do you want to see all my Medea bodies? And they're like, yes, please, Poppy. And he takes
you want to see where the Medea happens?
And he brings him into a stinky room that's just full of these rubber bodies and they just get to flap the Yabos and jiggle the butt. And then meanwhile, he's taking off his clothes in the background, being like, you want me to get into one of those, or you want me to get into one of those? He's pointing at them.
That's probably not that far off from the truth. Please don't sue me, Tyler, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure he probably listens to all the podcasts about himself.
Of course he does. Do you think Tyler Perry has ever been on, or Medea rather, has ever been on like RuPaul's Drag Race? Because like she's a killer drag queen.
If she has, I have not seen that episode yet, and if I find it, I will let you know.
You're a big RuPaul
Yeah, there's
guy.
got to be a YouTube clip out there or something.
Gotta be, right? I mean, for God's sake, she took a phone call from fake Donald Trump on SNL, so like she definitely gets around. That's for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm. God, Aunt Bam is in this movie. We met Aunt Bam in the last movie that we watched, Medea's Big Fat.
Oh, so
Stupid
she's
Family.
not been there. She hasn't been there from the start. So you're telling me that these characters have built up over. This
Yes.
is literally like its own cinematic
Yes.
universe.
It is.
It's evolving. It's growing. It has its own life of its own.
Okay,
The new
so
one
was it
for me
less
was
funny?
Hattie.
Yes, Hattie, and this is Hattie's first theatrical appearance. She's in some of the plays that some of these movies are based on. Boo isn't based on a movie. Boo is based on a joke in a Chris Rock movie, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So Hattie's new to the franchise, but Aunt Bam has been around for a while. Joe has been there from the start, and Medea has been there from the start. So, but yeah, Buzi, you are correct when you say that it is a cinematic universe, because there's a whole. Mr. Brown's not even in this movie, and he's a major component of the Medea movies. There's a
Who's Mr. Brown?
Exactly. Well, he's a
Meet
guy.
the Browns, Mr. Brown.
Meet the Browns, Mr. Brown. Him and Medea used to hook up, and he is the father. Medea is his daughter's mother, or something like that. It's Mr. Brown is a whole other character, but
Okay.
he's got his whole spin-off thing going on. Like he's got a movie, he's got a TV series that's all about him. It is a cinematic universe. It's pretty incredible, actually.
That's really impressive that Tyler Perry was ahead of the curve on the. He's like, there's a cinematic universe coming, and I've already implanted most of it.
Yeah, for real. So Iron Man came out in what, 2008, I think, something like that? 2008, 2009?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Diary of a Mad Black
You
Woman?
guys don't have the video guy who will look stuff up for you? You guys need the Joe Rogan guy.
Yeah. Well, I guess either one of us, whoever gets to their phone faster or cares enough does it. And apparently
Well, because I think it'd be very interesting. You'd be like, Joe, type in Psalms 1385, and then you guys could like
Sure,
read
I
it
got
out.
it.
I
I got it. Psalms 1385, no problem. But I think Iron Man came out in 2008. Diary of a Mad Black Woman came out in 2006. Tyler Perry beat the MCU to the game of making a cinematic universe. That's like pretty wild stuff if you think about it. No wonder he's a billionaire.
Suck it, Marvel. Yeah, suck on that.
Yeah. It's
Alexa, tell me facts.
good.
No, nothing.
Dang it.
Nothing.
You
I
have, an
didn't get anything.
you have an Android. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I have an Android. I've already done that bit.
Have you? Oh, it was good.
You know what? I've never heard it before, and it got me. So I love it. Thank you. That was for me. If it didn't work for anybody else, it was for me.
We find out in this movie, although it is revealed in Medea Goes to Jail, but Medea used to be a
She
stripper.
goes to jail?
Oh, yeah, she goes to jail. I mean, of course she goes to jail. You
For
don't
a stint.
for
Oh,
a little stint, just
She
a
was
little
in the
stint.
clink for a second.
The thing is, that movie is like 2 hours long, and she goes to jail at like an hour and 40 minutes into the movie. And then it's just like a montage of her in jail. So really, you don't really get what you paid for with that one, because you expect it's just going to be like Medea in jail doing jail stuff, but it's not
Right.
really that. And so that one's a little disappointing.
So you wanted more like a sister act kind of deal, and this one's more like Medea committed a crime somewhere in the film.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you always want a sister act type of deal. Like that's
Right.
the epitome
Right,
of
right.
movie,
Yeah.
of cinema.
Yeah. If we didn't have plans for the summer for our podcast, for doing what we're going to do this summer, which is a secret until next week for the listeners, we would definitely be watching Sister Act and Sister Act 2 very soon, because we love those movies and they were a staple of my childhood, and they just fit in perfectly with what this is. But those will have to wait till the fall, because we have a whole plan for the summer that I can't wait.
I mean,
till
should
get to
we
it.
tell them?
No, not on air. We'll tell
Okay.
them all after the show for sure, but I don't want to spoil it for the listeners. They'll find out next week what it is.
I was gonna say I'm chomping at the bit here, but I don't want to ruin the surprise for everybody else.
We'll tell you. Don't worry. It's a good one too. It's gonna be worth it. So, Medea used to be a stripper. Aunt Bam stealing candy from
Heck
kids that are
yeah.
trick or treating. And did you see Aunt Bam's 420 pumpkin and her weed leaf pumpkin?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I kind of got confused when she first showed up, because I thought that they were just sitting in front of a random house that doing this shit, but it was her house, or maybe it wasn't.
I think it was Aunt Bam's house. That wasn't
Yeah,
Medea's house.
That's not
was it?
Medea's house. That's Aunt Bam's house,
Okay.
100%. Medea lives in a big, like, plantation house almost. Like, it looks like a plantation owner's house.
So
Not racist.
No, not
is there
racist.
Is there a Mrs. Medea, Mr. Medea? What's the deal with that?
There's been a lot of Mr. Medeas over the years.
I feel like there's like a bunch of lore, and maybe I shouldn't be asking these questions because we're too deep into the Medea verse. But
okay.
I don't know these.
We know these. We know the answers though. So if you're gonna ask anyone, ask us because we know what Medea.
I don't want to bore your audience, who are probably
they love it.
just as up as you guys.
They eat it up. They love this stuff.
Audience schmaudience.
Exactly. Exactly. Our motto has always been frick the audience. It's all about us, baby.
Right.
We're here. We're doing this for us and David A.R. White and Gold.
More fun.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna clear up for say someone else just randomly drops in the way I have it in the Medea verse here.
Yeah.
So in this movie, this is the first time we see Aunt.
Nope.
What's her name?
Aunt Bam is introduced in Medea's Big Happy Family.
And she's the tiny one who doesn't get stoned all the time, right?
No. Aunt Bam is the one who gets stoned all the time. Hattie is the one who is like a little gremlin woman who doesn't get stoned.
Right.
Yeah.
So out of the three women that are actually in this movie in that group, only one is or two are actually women. Is Tyler Perry all of them?
No,
they look like actual women.
Two of them are women. One is Tyler Perry. Hattie, though, is much younger than her character. Hattie is like a younger woman who's also kind of a cutie. Aunt Bam is old as the hills. She is an old woman, 100%. She is Aunt Bam.
But they aged her quite a bit from the last movie we saw her in.
Yeah, she was, and it made me sad because in the last movie we saw her in, she's always bragging about how she doesn't get sick, and then in this one she talks about how she had to get hip replacement surgery, and I was like, Aunt Bam, oh man, like things are tough for you right now.
Yeah,
huh?
the years have not been kind.
No,
definitely not.
I do like her spirit though. She's got a lot of spunk and very willing to show off her legal weed card, which at the time was a bigger deal. I mean, now as a Canadian, like I would laugh at that. Like we would collectively laugh at that.
Well, I mean, I laughed when I saw the movie.
That would be kind of cool.
And she, you know what? Jump ahead a bit here, but when the cops do show up and they're like, "What's that smell?" She whips that card out of her bra and is like, "I got a card," and they go, "All right, cool, it's all good. Enjoy your smell. We're out of here."
You know what? Like she's really just like down for day one kind of shit. She's guys, they got you covered. It smells a little funky here, but whatever.
Joe's like, "Let me get one of those joints," and she goes, "All right, Joe, like you can have one of my joints, but you owe me." And he goes, "Yeah, I'll hit it from the back when you come back here." And she's like, "I don't really want to do that, Joe, but okay."
That's how
Joe's
Joe
really
rolls.
aggressive.
Yeah, Joe is a real horn dog. In the other movies, he hits on anything with two legs, even if he's like maybe kind of related to them. He doesn't care. Like if it's like a cousin's kid, he's like, "Well, we ain't related by blood, so like who cares?" And they're like, "Yeah, Joe, maybe don't hit on that 15-year-old unless you're Tiger."
And he always has Vaseline and blue pills.
Mm-hmm. He's ready to go, and he's got that stuff.
Right, so he's about to be canceled at any second.
Yeah, Joe's problematic, and in this movie,
there's a bit of problems throughout this universe.
I loved so basically Brian has to leave. He doesn't want to leave his daughter Tiffany because she's going to sneak off to the frat party. So he calls Medea and is like, "Can you come over and like look after Tiffany so she doesn't leave?" Medea brings Aunt Bam.
But play it off like you just showed up. Like
exactly.
Not like I called you because I'm a pussy or anything.
Exactly. So
because he's being a bad father, guys. He's being a bad father. That's him right there. He's not holding it down.
It's weird that like they're always bragging about what a good job they did of raising them, but it's like, but Brian's like a total, like you said, he's a total wet blanket with his daughter. He's got no guts with her. He just lets her walk all over him, and it's like, well, then I feel like your parents kind of failed you, Brian, if they didn't teach you how to raise a kid, right? It just seems like a weird choice.
Yeah. It's really weird that he's like wet this whole movie. Like he's got soaking hair and he's just like kind of just soaked.
He's got
head to toe.
He's got like a Rick James Jerry curl that's like just sprayed to the nines, hanging down. It's a good look for him, but it's weird that he's wet all the time. You're right.
It's a great lawyer look. If I was looking for a lawyer, I want him to be wet and have a Jerry curl.
Absolutely. I really love.
Yeah, you want your lawyer to look like he just disposed of a car in a lake.
Yeah. I want my lawyer to look like he's there to be on trial. I want him to look just as guilty as I am.
Yeah, he's next in rotation.
Exactly. Yeah, take some of the heat off
everybody.
me.
Yeah, everybody there is like, "Oh, look at that guy," and they're not even thinking about all the murders you committed.
I want the judge to talk to me and go like, "It's your turn to cross-examine the witness," and I go, "No, I'm on trial. I'm guilty." Oh, Joe, no! Oh God. I really loved when they all showed up at Brian's house, and Brian's like, "Oh," and Joe walks up to the door, and Brian's like, "Oh, you brought my daddy," and Joe just goes, "Sup, bitch," and just goes into the house. It's like, that's your son, Joe. I love it.
You just reminded me that he was throwing around a lot of like bitch, and then he just uses a hard R on Joe at one point, or not. And they just have like a big argument about that.
Yeah, he drops a couple of N-words in this movie. And
I just have to ask, is that like, does that happen a lot throughout the Medea movies?
No.
Because they do seem kind of like oddly family oriented in a weird way.
Well, as we've established in earlier episodes, as long as it's a black people doing it, like Eddie Murphy's The Nutty Professor is by all accounts a children's movie, a family movie, but they say the N-word constantly in that movie.
Do they actually? I need to
go back and watch it.
It did kind of like throw me off when we were watching, or as a unit when I was watching this, and I was like, I did not expect like one N-bomb in this.
This is the first time they've used it, as far as I know, as far as I'm aware of. I've seen everything other than Medea's witness protection. I haven't seen that one, so maybe they use it in that one. But other than that, this is the first one.
The after Medea goes to jail. I'm hoping.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay,
Eugene
good.
Levy.
If it was somewhere else, it'd be chronologically wrong.
Doesn't make any sense. But here's the thing: Eugene Levy and Denise Richards show up at Medea's house, and she's got to protect them. That's what that one's about. So
Denise, wow.
Yeah. Pure Flix's Denise Richards is in it, but yeah, there's a lot of hard N-words in this movie, and it's shocking every time they're said. And also, Joe just yells bullshit a lot. That like it's way more adult than any other Medea movie has been, and I don't know if maybe that's because it was going to be a big like a national theatrical release or what it was, but they went for it.
It just felt like Joe's character was there to like impress the frat boys. Literally, they're like, "Well, I can swear too." I won't swear on here because that's not the kind of podcast we're on. But
bless up,
amen. But praise him. Praise him. But it is rather like frustrating. I was like, "Excuse me, sir, slow down."
Yeah, slow your roll, Joe.
What is Joe so? Can we what is Joe so mad about? What has him in such a disposition?
Honestly, I think it's because he's horny. I think he's just really backed up and horny all the time, and nobody will sleep with him. And he's an incel, and he's just like frustrated by that.
Right. So Joe is like older Elliot Rodgers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the perfect way to describe him. Yes. Son, you know where you'd be if I didn't whoop you. You'd be on the street addicted to crack. Joe says that to Brian, whose wife was literally 10 years ago on the street addicted to crack. Feels like a really insensitive
her parents
thing.
Must not have hit her then. That's the only logical conclusion we can come to then.
It's such an insensitive thing to say to Brian. I can't believe his dad would say that to him. It's ruthless. I love it.
Yeah, well, old Joe is ruthless.
Yeah. What was your favorite Joe moment in this movie, Jonathan?
I don't know. He calls Medea the devil, and I thought that was going to play into something at the end. Yeah. It seems like it tracks.
What I have that line written down. There's a really I can't remember what it is. But he's like, "You demon, you devil." Yeah, it's really good the way he says it. But then he says, Tiffany comes down and she's like, "What you old geezer still doing here? Get out of this house!" Like blah blah blah. I hate you. And Joe's like, "There's something inside me that wants to grab that girl and slap the shit out of her, but I ain't gonna." Joe, I love you. Joe has all the best lines in this movie. I love Joe in this movie.
I just want to say my favorite line of Joe's is actually a line I remembered from Medea 2. So I'm just going to say that my favorite line of Joe's is from Medea 2.
Hit us with it.
Give it to us.
And I'm trying to remember word for word. He says, "The devil is alive, and I'm going to meet him." And then he was talking about how he wanted to be rolled up and smoked like a joint at his funeral. I'm sorry, I didn't get the full thing, but that's the best part of Medea 2. And you guys just, like, shocked my memory into remembering that.
I can't wait to experience. Yeah. Halloween, we're going to watch
more
it.
Joe.
Yeah. Joe, that's the thing. I don't think Joe's in a Medea Christmas. So it's like, there's definitely some of the magic missing from that one.
Well,
Well,
he
we'll get-
feels like he's is he not the most recurring character besides Medea? He feels like he's the yang of the relationship.
Oh,
there.
he is. He definitely is. But I don't want to spoil a Medea Christmas. We'll get to it at Christmas time this year, but just be aware.
Right.
I don't think Joe, from what I remember, Joe is not in it all that much. Maybe he's at the start, but for most of the movie, he's gone. But he's replaced by Larry the Cable Guy, and that's pretty great. You can't really say no to that. So, yeah, what's her name? Tiffany sneaks out, goes to the frat party. They're like, oh, she's gone. Hattie is horny as hell, and she's like, I want to go see some frat boys. And so they go off to get Tiffany back. Spoiler alert,
what
they
is
don't.
Hattie's got some serious clam energy this whole movie.
Yeah, she's drinking
Could you
clam.
define clam energy for me? I've never heard that term before.
Her clam was just radiating, like it was sending off a radar signal to all the nearest, depots. And I don't know, she was just really horny this whole movie. And it's really nice to see representation of an older, hornier woman, because I feel like everyone had that weird auntie.
It's really not representative in a lot of movies. She was getting buck wild on the floor.
Mhm.
That butt can get it.
Exactly.
Can it ever?
She will be in there riding the
Oof.
dishwasher
Oh,
and
boy.
the washing machine if you want.
Write
Just
that down.
just depending on the setting.
Write that down.
Yeah, she should have hooked up with Horse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Well, here's the thing, though. I think her and Joe are sleeping together, because when she's talking about how she wants to get with Horse, Joe goes,
sis.
well, and Joe, when she's talking about getting, wants to get it in with Horse, Joe goes, you gonna get with him, you ain't gonna get no more of this donkey. And it's like, Joe, are you packing heat? Like, is that why you're so bummed up? Because you're packing some heat in there?
Packing the schmeat in there.
Yeah.
I never picked that up. Oh.
Well, they were together when they did the clown prank.
Right.
And
And with
I don't know.
the clown prank where Medea punches Hattie in the face as hard as she can.
That's a classic clown prank, I have to tell you. I do it to my friends all the time. They love it.
They see it coming from a mile away. They
I
love
dress
it.
up as a clown and I break their nose.
Mhm.
Yeah, the life-size Jack in the Box. Everybody does it.
How did they get that? How did Joe and Hattie make that thing? It's a miracle that it came together the way it did.
I feel like they must hang out a lot, and yeah, when they're not f***ing, they get wacky. They make it, they have adventures, they have costumes.
Yeah, that's a duo I could watch a movie about.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love an
there's
animated
a spin-off movie I want.
I'd love to see a whole animated series about them. That's just like their misadventures week by week, and just also it's rated hard R because there is a lot of full frontal nudity because they're hooking up a lot in it. But yeah, and
you
that's
see everything.
and that's something you can't really do with people that are full body prosthetics, right? You can't really make that look realistic. So that's why you'd have to do it animated. But then show that donkey.
Which is the most frustrating part for all of us, I think. It definitely keeps me up at night sometimes.
Yeah, very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I want to see Sherman Clump's donger. That's what I'm saying. I want to see the full frontal on all the clumps. That's what I'm asking for. They go to the frat party. Tiffany's hiding. They hide her. Bam smells
It doesn't
weed.
seem
and
like
is
a very
"Oof."
good party, honestly, guys.
Well, but that's because
No.
we get there before Tyga shows up, and that's when the party really takes off. 'Cause-
Yeah,
Right.
pre-Tyga, this
Nah.
thing is lame as frick.
oh yeah. But then
Yeah, get the heck out of here.
here's the thing. That's like Tyga at Rack City height. Like that's when Tyga was like the
was
man.
that Rack City Tyga? I was wondering why they had him in there. It's like not that many people watching this are gonna know who Tyga is.
I disagree because that's their audience. Medea's audience will know who Tyga is.
Really?
We-
I feel
we
like
Three
Medea's
Kings-
audience is like the people that they're trying to look like.
Yes, black people from Atlanta. Yeah, they know who Tyga is. You
No,
can trust me on
I
that.
meant age-wise. Age-wise.
Oh,
like
no.
I feel like they were going for like Medea age, where it would be like other older black women being like, "This shit is funny." When it's
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
As a 30-year-old white guy, I believe the Medea audience is all black people. I don't know. I might be wrong. But I believe BET really got on it.
Truly.
Okay, sorry, maybe it's my fault for not knowing truly what market Medea has cornered.
Like, he made a bill off of
exactly.
it. Everybody,
yeah, like there's somebody buying this.
He's a billionaire.
Tyga fans.
Exactly. They want to give him Rack City in real life. Here you go. Give it up to Tyler Perry.
Did he even play that song?
Yes.
He
did play Rack City, but they played the censored version, which is weird because I'm like, you're dropping the N-word in this movie. Let him sing Rack City. What difference does it make? It's just weird.
Yeah.
Very good point. True. Like once you have that word on the table, you've opened the dam for like you could say what I don't know. Maybe that's just how I see it.
I mean, I thought it was weird when Tyga looked into the camera and went, "Death to Whitey's," and then he dropped the mic, and we were like, that's kind of like an extreme stance to take in a Medea movie, Tyga, but especially from a pedophile, I don't need that.
He had something to say, and the Medea movie is the place to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah. He wanted to cover up that he was dating a 15-year-old.
Yeah, and they were like, let's keep rolling. We don't have enough film to film this again, so I guess we're going to put Death to Whitey in the movie. Sorry, everyone. Medea really nailed her line read.
I just want to say, in terms of rappers saying that they dislike the police, this one has to probably be the least enthused and most I did not believe you. Like, when he was like, oh, no, the police are here, I better get out of here. It's like, did you call them? It sounds like you called them.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, dude, you're a pedophile. So, like, they could be coming for you, Tyga. You better watch yourself,
maybe
bud.
show a little bit more haste when running away here, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just going to take off, guys.
He's kind of just, oh, darn it, the police are here. I guess I better skippity-doo out of town.
Let me skedaddle out of here.
He should have been sweating harder than Brian Simmons, is all I'm saying. He should have just been buckets of sweat pouring off of him, where he's like, it's finally, the net's tightening, oh God.
It's happening. Oh,
poor Brian Simmons. Oh.
Can we just for a second, because none of us have mentioned it, and I think it was kind of a funny joke in the movie that they never mentioned it, that there was a giant steroid monster in the fraternity who would like just randomly say like small words.
Oh,
do you guys like I think he was like a wrestler or something, but I kind of like that he was in there and that we never really like mentioned him again.
Yeah, I think it was Brodus Clay, if I remember correctly. That's who that guy was.
What? Was it Brodus Clay?
No, it wasn't Brodus Clay.
That sounds like a made-up name.
Well, I mean, all wrestling names are made-up names, but yeah, it was not him.
If you believe Hard Enough Wrestling is real.
That's true.
I believe it.
I believe. And so the ladies, they call the cops. The cops break up the frat party. Frat boys are mad, so they decide to get revenge on Medea and her friends by like trying to convince them that their house is haunted. And they do it by literally...
Movie is not scary up until this point.
And after this point. Oh,
well, the frights are coming.
A minute.
The frights are coming. That's true. That is what that flashes on the screen at one point. The frights are coming. And the boys prank them by literally doing magic. Like, it's insane the things they pull off in this movie.
They literally go over there like, let's David Blaine this house.
They hack the house.
Yeah, they hack the television. They're like
the newest Chucky doll. They somehow can get into every sort of mainframe and switch off light switches.
Including Steam. They hack Steam.
That's the thing. They write on the mirror in the Steam. And they turn the faucets on and off. How do they do that? You can't. This isn't a smart thing. Okay, how do they do it, John?
Any basic plumber, like, second day knows this shit.
And they're furious watching this movie, being like, you can't hack the Steam like that. Are you kidding me?
Hack the Steam!
Yeah!
You finger the mirror, and then you turn on the water later.
Hey, you had me at your finger.
I've been fingering mirrors since I was day one.
Oh, turn on that water, my man.
Y'all ever, when you were kids, get steam on the mirror and then kiss the mirror, and then later on your parents are like, who's kissing the mirror in here? Because there's lip marks all over
Heck
it. And you go, oh, it wasn't me.
No, I wasn't practicing kissing because I'm an only child. Like,
I kissed everything when I was a kid.
What do you mean by that, Buzi? We need to dig into that a little bit more.
Whoa, sorry, I just realized.
Why did it matter that you were an only child?
No. Okay, so it did sound wrong the way I put that. It meant more like that no one else was to blame, not like I could like have a sibling to kiss. That maybe that's where I was. It just kind of got jumbled up, and I was hoping that we would just keep going. But I'm glad that you sidetracked it back so that someone wouldn't be like, "You kind of made a weird comment the other time."
Hey,
Oh, to have a sibling to kiss.
Is that
Man,
Tyga?
I wish.
Is
I'm
Tyga
an
here?
only child myself.
Oh.
Yeah, like
I wish I had
where-
a sibling to kiss.
sometimes I sat. Yeah, it was like that Mitch Hedberg joke where he's like, sometimes I sat in my twin bed wondering where my kissing sibling is.
Well, I gotta say, as someone who does have a younger sister, I didn't practice kissing on her, but I did practice in the mirror. So,
Gross.
I know, I'm sorry. They were right
What
there.
are
What
you,
was I
gay?
doing? If only I had a younger brother, then I could practice kissing. But well, it doesn't matter now.
I remember making lips out of my fists and kissing my fist a lot.
Oh, nice. What else did you do with your fist?
Like-
I mean, your
like
fist did things to
before
you.
we started recording, or like years ago.
No, me and my wife, that's how we practice kissing in front of each other.
That's right. Did you guys watch?
You're doing great, sweetie.
Did you guys watch the bloopers at the end? Did you watch the bloopers during the credits of this movie?
Yeah, you
I
know
didn't
what?
get
As soon
bloopers.
as I saw bloopers, I had
Oh.
to.
There's Joe has a great joke in the bloopers where he's like, I took your mom to the doctor, and the doctor said that she can't be having sex anymore. She's having too much sex. She can't have any sex anymore. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. What did the dentist say? And that's all I could think about when you're talking about kissing your fist.
You got bruised muscles in your mouth. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hey. Oh, boy.
You know, I do want to say though, you know, a movie's packed
Rack
with
City.
comedy gold when they give you the bloopers on the way out. They're like, just in case you weren't busting a gut before, here's us enjoying ourselves making this.
It looked like a fun movie to make. I mean, we've been watching this Christian TV series called Malibu Down the Family Man. We've been reviewing every
Big
episode. Big ups to David R. White and Malibu Down the Family Man.
Big ups.
But their bloopers are like the most depressing, saddest bloopers because it's not them having fun. It's them just being like, all right, let's go. Come on. It's just scenes that don't work out. And then their people are annoyed
it's
about
scenes that
it.
they should have just erased.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
should never have been put down anywhere.
It's just bad.
My theory is it's that the editors are trying to get back at the show creator by putting these at the end of the film.
They don't know that
because-
they're in there.
There's no way these should have been aired at all.
No, they don't make David A.R. White look good. They make him look like a tyrannical jerk in these bloopers.
Like a terrible boss.
Yeah, it's him being like, all right, you screwed up that line. Can you do that line better? Because you screwed it up last time. And people, it's like, are we supposed to be laughing at this? I don't get it, David.
That is not a blooper.
That is abuse.
We like to have fun here.
That is abuse of your staff, David. Don't get it twisted. The gun is on me.
Yeah, don't be proud of this. Don't put it on the reel.
So then, like, the frat boys are dressed like clowns. They're in the house dressed like clowns, up in the attic, hiding outside.
Why clown? Did they say they were afraid of clowns? Why clowns?
I think just clowns are universally creepy. I
But
think
this-
people just hate clowns.
I guess, but this wasn't even
Yeah.
like. Remember that weird like year? Where, was it like 2018?
It
where
was.
like people would randomly dress up like clowns? Like we were even before. Tyler Perry was before that even.
That's true. Hey, he
He
set the
knew it was
precedent.
going to happen.
I can't wait
Yeah.
for Madea Halloween 2 when they invent planking. That's going to be awesome. Tyler Perry was ahead of the curve on everything.
Yeah, the Pier
You
Boys
should-
really want planking to come back.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
really big.
if you guys want to see that one where he invents planking, then you should see Tyler Perry creates COVID.
Ooh,
that is a
that's a good
movie.
one.
Did you say Hovid or COVID?
Oh,
We're here at the Pure Boys. We're really big into planking. We're into doing dabs. We're into throwing up the shocker in pictures. Those are all the things that we're trying to bring back in the world because it's sad that they're gone. We miss them.
Yeah, we
Are you
hated
telling-
the world and we want to remake it in our image.
Exactly.
are you telling me that you guys have thrown all those things in there and you haven't even considered bringing back a "Was Up"?
Oh,
What's
man. That's good. We should bring that. But should we start every show from now on with that? What's up? You're listening to Pure Boys. Shut
I like
it
our
off.
song too much.
I mean,
I do like you guys. Like, I don't want to ruin it, but it feels like you guys are on the cutting edge of bringing "Was Up" back.
thank you. You know what? That's
We
the
are
nicest
on the
thing.
cusp.
That's true.
Yeah.
And all we got to do is start saying it, and then it's back in the zeitgeist. That's all it's going to take. So
Yeah, you're on the cusp of greatness right now.
We
So,
could
hey.
do a Little John. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, there we
who-
go.
are you Bam? Are you Aunt Bam right now?
Yeah, that's how she calls the cops.
Yeah, they're like, well, if you call the cops, what are you going to say? She goes, yeah. Oh, very good.
Very good.
Oh, my wife.
My wife.
Let's bring that back. Screw it. It's now
My
done.
wife.
I mean,
my wife?
It's weird that Borat put out another movie recently and my wife didn't come back. Oh, I'm so sad. My wife didn't come back. Oh.
It came back, I feel like, for a hot second, but people weren't able to mingle. They weren't able to go to bars and really, foster.
Screaming at each
and
other.
really yell like my wife at strangers the way we all really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're at the mall and you're at Tutti Frutti getting yourself a Bluzz Pop.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Or you're listing off countries you're not allowed to travel to internationally, and you're like, Uzbekistan, those assholes.
Buzi, what are you doing, man? You're making me censor overtime here with all these effing and jeffing you're doing.
I'll
censor them. It's all good.
It's a direct quote from a movie, and I didn't mean to come off like that.
That's all good.
As you guys know, I wouldn't come on here to do that.
I know you wouldn't.
Did you have to censor Uzbekistan?
Yeah, I'm going to have to censor Uzbekistan because we are actually sponsored by them. So I can't have us besmirching their name. They're one of our biggest.
We love you, Uzbekistan.
We love you.
Uzbeks.
General Kramad, leader of Uzbekistan, we love you. Thanks for all the ruples. Big ups. You're our best sponsor.
You are who we are.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Yeah, we love you, Uzbekistan. Boo Madea Halloween,
Did I scare you?
There is a lot of great jokes in this movie, but there is one joke that made me genuinely laugh really hard and bust a gut. And it's when, after the ladies all run out of the house from punching clowns in the face and get in the car, the Reverend calls Medea. And so Medea answers, and she goes like, "Can you pray for me? Can you pray for me, Reverend? Can you make me feel good?" And the Reverend starts praying for her, and he's speaking in tongues or whatever. And then Medea goes, "Watch this, I'll make him pray harder." And then she goes, "Hallelujah!" And then he starts praying really hard. He's just like, "Oh, no. He's just praying super hard.
He immediately has to say hallelujah back. Look, I got him to pray harder.
That is a very good joke.
Like, what's up?
Exactly.
I kind of want to go to churches and say hallelujah randomly, and they'll have to say it back to you.
Legally, they're obligated to. If they don't, they lose their charitable status and they have to pay taxes. That's the law of the land.
And they're going straight to hell, or heck, after that.
Yeah, exactly. You can say hell. Hell's in the Bible. That's okay. Hell
is in the Bible.
Eat ass. That's all in the Bible. So it's all good. You can get away with a lot. Yeah. Just no hard F's. That's the only one we can't say. So it's all good. Jesus never said.
All right. I'm gonna make sure I'm going to make my hardest right now that I will not be coveting my neighbor's wife.
Thank you.
It's hard. You guys, I know that the listeners can't see it, but I'm upstairs at my place. The window's open. You guys probably can't see it, but I'm attempting to not covet my neighbor's wife right now.
Oh, my neighbor's wife,
Are we not supposed to covet thy neighbor's wife?
It's pretty much the only person I do covet.
Oh, 15 or whatever.
Oh, my neighbor's wife.
No. It happens to the worst of Medea's. It happens to the worst of us.
What if your wife and yourself covet your neighbor's wife?
Tag team covet the neighbor's wife.
I'd call it a tag team.
That's pretty cool.
Don't call it a tag team.
We've been here for years. We've been coveting for years.
I just want to say that we kind of did mention that this movie actually got scary when the clowns came out.
Yeah.
And you didn't even mention, they hopped into the car. What kind of car did they have? A hearse station wagon? Everybody was in that
baby.
thing.
It's a Cadillac.
And was that Medea's? Is she rolling deep? What's that?
Oh yeah,
1978 Impala.
That's Medea. That's the classic Medea car. It's in all the Medea movies. That's her vehicle. That's her Batmobile.
That's her vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was kind of
brings
upset.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She usually drives it through a building or something.
That's true, yeah. In the last movie we watched, Medea's Big Happy Family, she literally drives it into a fast food restaurant because they wouldn't take her order. And then she steals all the food from behind the counter. And that's not the movie where she goes to jail. Believe it or not.
And as she leaves, she blames it on her daughter.
That's true. If y'all looking for me, my name is Cora Simmons. And then she leaves and you go, well, that's your daughter, Medea. Don't do that.
This sounds like she literally sounds like she's doing some boot gang shit before he got arrested.
Who is that guy? Is he a pedophile?
Do you guys not know who boot gang is?
Boot gang?
Okay, all right. Let me explain for you boomers here.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Boot gang's that guy who would walk into stores and he would steal live lobsters and stuff and just yell a bunch. and he got famous for that. For just
Of course he did.
Yeah, for walking into restaurants and stealing shit.
What
but
would
I feel
he-
like that's Medea's energy right there.
Now that you explain it, that does make a lot of sense. What kind of stuff
And
would he
the
yell?
dude would film himself doing it, so it was very self-incriminating.
That's excellent. What kind of stuff would he yell? Would he be like, "If you're looking for me, my name is Cora Simmons," and he'd walk out with all
No,
these
he would
lobsters?
literally he would yell "Boom Gang," and that was his Instagram. So it was like he was like promoting himself stealing while filming it, and like announce it's like Mr. Johnson right here stealing, and then running away. Like that's kind of where.
He sounds like a cool guy.
Hey.
Town crier
Stealing your
here.
things.
Here to take your lobsters, ma'am.
Now for me to 78 Skidoo. I thought it was worth it.
It was worth it. It was, you know what? Yeah, the laughs had died down. Come on in with a real zinger at the end there. Should have added a was up at the end, but it was worth it anyway.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the ladies leave. They drive the car out of there. They hotwire the car, and then the car breaks down. And they're
Wait,
like,
why did they have to hotwire the car? She owns it.
But she forgot the keys. They were so scared by the clowns, they forgot the keys. So the car breaks down, and Medea's like, "Why is my car breaking down?" It's like, well, you hotwired it. So any number of reasons. Like you cut wires and put wires together. Things are all screwed up inside there now. Who knows what happened?
Why
Also,
are you
she
hasn't
hasn't-
hotwiring vehicles?
Yeah,
Well,
she
I'm
hasn't
a
got an
thief.
oil change or anything for 30 years.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's a miracle that vehicle even runs anymore.
Yeah.
That's definitely a hallelujah moment,
I mean,
as she would say.
Exactly. That vehicle has been through heck and back. It's crashed into buildings. It's smashed into cars. It's been impounded. Gates. Right. Yeah. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Storm the gates. It's
Yeah.
but takes a licking and keeps on ticking, much like Medea, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
Yeah. Back in my day, they built them to last.
That's right. Talking about Medea herself.
Yeah, that ass.
You can say eat ass. It's fine. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, millennials love eating ass. It's okay. God is okay with it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I really loved when Joe was smoking weed in the house, in Brian's house. Just people smoking weed in Brian's house constantly, which I guarantee he's not down with. He's a DA.
Oh, he's definitely a stick in the mud about it.
Yeah, well, he's a district attorney, so I mean, I get it. Like you probably put people in jail for weed all the time, Brian. Like I get that you got a thing against it, but Joe's smoking weed. A clown shows up, and Joe's like, "There's no clown here. Get out of here with that bullshit, clown."
I like that his solution is like which is my solution when life gets me down is like just keep smoking and hoping the problem goes away and it just gets worse.
That's right.
Yeah,
Till eventually,
you got to smoke more weed about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Till eventually the clown is in Joe's face, and Joe hits it with a cane and knocks it unconscious and yells, "I don't play with this Halloween bullshit." It's like, I love
Don't
you,
have
Joe.
to censor that.
Nope, that's in the Bible. Jesus said, I stepped in bullshit at one point. Wash my feet, please.
I cannot believe that you just jogged my memory and that we completely missed the funniest jokes in this movie. Can I just completely sidetrack you guys?
Please, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, when we go right back to the start of the movie, when they're giving out Halloween candy, they call the one kid, they call him Biggie several times because he's a larger kid, and then say that he's gonna get the woman's gonna get like Tupac if they don't give him his candy. And guys, that was good stuff. And
was good stuff.
I'm sad that we didn't get to mention it now, but now we can just go back to what we were talking about.
That's fair.
And I didn't say.
I just want to say though that like Medea really shines in that moment because she's telling Aunt Bam, don't steal from these kids and don't steal from that kid because you're gonna get caught if you steal from that kid. Aunt Bam steals from the kid, he catches her, and then Medea is immediately like, I'll whoop this kid's ass. Like, I don't care. Like, she's immediately in the kid's face.
Medea's ride
like,
or die, and that's my favorite part. She's like, hey, morally, I know what's the worst, like, what's good and wrong here, but she's like, that's my girl right there.
Yeah. But you got to back up your crew, no matter what. Even though you just told her not to steal those things, you never snitch.
No, God, no.
Exactly. It's gonna be a dance off. It's gonna be a dance off.
Medea's been in jail. She knows snitches get stitches. In fact, I'm almost positive that's a point of the movie. At some point, she like beats someone up for snitching. I'm almost positive. I think she puts him in like a steam press or something. Like, So Medea gets it. She's ride or die. She's from the street. She grew up in New Orleans.
Yeah.
She doesn't play like that. So big ups.
No.
I love Medea. I really genuinely love Medea. I wish she was my grandma, but she's not. She's not real. Medea. So the car breaks down. We'll get to that. So the car breaks down.
Right.
Everyone gets out to help fix the car, and then suddenly zombies come running out of the woods. Guess what? It's the frat boys, of course it is. But zombies come running out of the woods. They chase all the women. Even Aunt Bam with bad hips is running away from these zombies. Medea runs all the way to a church and then is like saved. She gets like blessed by the Lord and saved in that church.
It
It's
just
wild.
happened to be evening church, and these really detailed zombies, by the way, they did a really. These guys, no wonder they won like best Halloween party if that's the costume lineup and acting talent that they're bringing out.
Well, and they're stunting. They're doing like front flips and side flips and stuff.
Yeah.
It was amazing to
Parkouring
watch.
all over the place.
It was very impressive. I think that's called tricking, if I remember correctly, where you just do like standing like flips and jumps and stuff without like parkour is like traveling over things, but just like running
Yeah.
and flipping. I think that's called
It's-
tricking, if I remember correctly. I'm a
They
boomer, so-
really like committed to scaring these old women
Yeah.
with these elaborate dance costume battles, and yeah.
very impressive. So
Help me, Jesus.
Medea, and then I love when she's getting saved, and the woman goes, "Do you believe Jesus is the Son of God?" And Medea goes, "If I have to." And it's like, that's the kind of commitment I want from somebody. I like that.
I'd probably say the same thing in her shoes.
It's true, right? Well, being saved doesn't stop your demons and your problems, but it'll help you when they come. So now you know.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah. Tiffany's friend, the pastor's daughter, shows up, explains to Medea everything that happened. Medea wants to cuss so bad, but she keeps going, "I bind you, cussing demon. I bind you, cussing demon," which I thought was very funny. I like that a lot. But she's going to murder those frat boys. Like, she's like, "I'm out for blood. I'm about to kill these boys and cop a charge." So they head back to the house to kill those boys.
The end.
The end.
I mean, and that's the logical when kids kind of muck up your Halloween evening, you'd have to actually kill them.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
You gotta clap back.
First, you got to teach your nephew how to raise his daughter, and that is by threatening to kick her out of the house and like stealing all of her clothes and everything until Tiffany's finally like, "Okay, Daddy, I won't disrespect you anymore." Also, is it just me or is it weird when people call their dad Daddy? That's just like a weird thing. I know that like the internet is ruined and
not
sexualized
liking
that
that.
word, but I don't. It creeps me out when an adult is like, "Hi, Daddy." It's like, what is this garbage? Don't do that.
I
I
just
don't
want to
like
say
it.
go ahead. I
I was
was
just
just
saying-
somebody who made a terrible joke and about my bad timing of making it sound like I wanted to kiss a sibling. I can really say that sometimes wording just doesn't come out right. I'm not defending the daddy thing. It's just maybe like it slipped up, but it does seem like kind of a recurring thing.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just want to kiss your daddy. I get it.
I want to kiss her daddy.
Oh man, me too. He's a billionaire. Who wouldn't want to kiss her daddy? Her daddy could do anything to me. He's a billionaire. You hear that, Tyler Perry? I know you're single.
Tyler,
I'm married.
You've been
but,
listening the whole time.
hey, you're a billionaire. For the right price, you could do anything to me, pal. How's that sound?
Really? What's the price?
I don't know. He's got to name it.
I guess
sounds very on the up and up Christian of you.
Well, well, let's call it a charitable donation. How's that sound?
Right,
I'll
right.
earn it, but it's still a donation.
Right.
Jesus himself had a price.
Exactly. I mean, what's his name? Definitely had a price. Judas Iscariot, a bag of gold coins. That was Judas's
Boo,
price.
that loser.
That's
Boo.
right. Kiss your Jesus. Kiss your Lord, Judas. Betray him. Ugh. Isn't it weird how, like, Jesus was a celebrity at that time, but then when they go to the Garden of Gethsemane to, like, arrest Jesus, Judas is like, "Let me kiss that guy
What are you
first,
talking about?
let me kiss the guy so you know who the guy is." And they're like, "Well, we know who Jesus is. Like, we hate Jesus. Everybody knows who he is." But Judas is still like,
He's like, no, I insist. We have to kiss him
Yeah.
to make sure.
I want to put my hot lips on him. Come on. One last time.
That's the only way to be sure that it's him.
Let me wash his
Oh,
feet.
yeah.
Come on.
I think that's before any sort of like ID or anything. You just had to kiss, even if you could visually see them, smell them, touch them. You had to still plant a soft kiss on their lips to be sure who it was. I think that's understandable. I don't know why.
Well, that was an age of magic, so anybody could have been anybody in disguise, right? But by kissing someone, then you know.
The lips do not lie. That's
Exactly.
100%.
Lips don't lie. That's what
Yeah, it was
Shakira
the
said.
fingerprint of the old ages.
Exactly. We need your lip print, please. Please, kiss me. I'm a police officer. Kiss me. I'm a police officer.
Please give me.
Prove your innocence. Kiss me, please.
Kiss me, darling.
If I wasn't innocent, would I kiss you like this?
If you weren't my dad, would I kiss you? No, of course not. Let's see. Brian's kicking Tiffany out of the house.
Apparently this movie's about Brian learning how to stand up to his daughter.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he raises...
even though Brian wasn't in most of this movie, he learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, he's the protagonist, I guess. He's the one who has an arc in this movie, I guess. I did really like the scene where he goes, "You shouldn't have gone to that party, Tiffany. Anything could have happened to you there. Tyga was there, and he's a pedophile. He could have just taken you away. You're 17. He doesn't care. That's like right in his wheelhouse."
He's been doing it right in front of the public eye for so long, and he's just been getting away with it. What makes you think you're special in any kind of way?
He's dicking
that line really touched me when he said that.
I liked when he said that he was dicking the youngest self-made billionaire.
Yeah, that was kind of off-putting, but also needed to be said.
Exactly. It
really advanced the story.
It's the truth. So, and then then they prank him. Then the old ladies and everybody they prank him.
Yeah, they got punked.
There's a big old punked at the end. Old Dax Shepard is there, and Ashton Kutcher, and everybody's there, and it's just a magical time.
Ashton Kutcher.
I mean, speaking of pedophiles, we got Ashton Kutcher cracking down on pedophiles all over the world. Tyga was like, "Please don't put him in this movie."
Tyga, you're next, buddy.
That's right. You're much like Italians. You're on the chopping block, Tyga. That's a pure boy promise. I mean,
if you guys had Twitter, you could have sent that out, but that's really unfortunate.
I know. Well,
yeah.
All's well that ends well. The teens get pranked. They learn a valuable lesson. The 45-year-old men in the frat get pranked. They learn a valuable lesson. The movie ends, and then that's pretty much it, right? Like, is there anything else that we really need to go? Oh, okay. All right, John's got something. Let's hear it.
Did you clock the last line of this entire movie? Like, it should just be Brian and his daughter walking off into the sunset, both knowing that they've learned a valuable lesson about life. And
they're closer for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then there's this weird voiceover of Brian going, "You are learning," and then credits.
like it's like the Terminator talking to itself.
Yeah,
you are learning.
It's so out of place and unnecessary.
You are learning.
And with like your last line of your movie, you really want to have a staple on it, but then he just says, "You are learning."
That's really deep and profound in a weird way that not really.
Well, he's speaking to all of us. Brian is he's saying to all of us, "You are learning," right? Life is a dance. You learn as you go, right? Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. So,
oddly prophetic to end on a line like that, which I wish I would have wrote down. I'm glad that you hadn't remembered that, and then immediately went into these amazing blooper reels.
Oh, can you tell me? Oh, go ahead.
The blooper reels start immediately?
No, there's like credits for a bit, and then like the Georgia symbol comes up, and then there's bloopers. It's unorthodox.
I still don't feel like I waited that long to see bloopers, but you must have really just like wanted to turn the movie off instantly.
Yeah. Hey, Buzi, do you think you could use the word bishop in a sentence for me?
Bishop, bring the ship around.
Oh, no.
Aliens?
No. Oh boy. All right. No, never mind. No. It's a joke that Joe tells in the bloopers. I thought I was trying to say, it's all good. I'll say it though. It's great. Joe goes,
I'm sorry.
Trying to teach Brian how to use the word bishop in a sentence, and I said, "Your mama came in the house drunk and she fell down and I had to pick the bishop. Had to pick the bishop."
Joe really loves violence.
And wordplay.
Yeah,
wordplay and violence.
He's the Shakespeare of our time.
Yeah.
He's learning.
Exactly. Joe,
you are learning.
Oh man, that was Boo and Madea Halloween. What did y'all think of it? Buzi, what did you think of Boo and Madea? Is this is only the second Madea movie you've ever seen? So you've only seen the Halloween Madea movies? That's weird.
I just want to say, in typical fashion, I don't know, anyone who knows me, I watch things out of order. I watched like the fourth installment of something, and then I'll watch the first one.
The only way to watch the Rocky movies.
Well,
I just went soft.
Because, it's kind of like, hey, if they can still have anything to say by the fourth one, then maybe the first one has something to say, which is terrible logic, because I'm missing a lot of good stuff. But I will say that I think Boo Medea 1 is better than 2, for sure. I remember more about it, other than the fact that I did watch it like an hour ago, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of good lessons. I think we were all learning. You were all learning. I a little aggressive with some of the dialogue, so maybe we could have cut that back a little bit. It was nice to see Jimmy Tatro. So yeah, all in all, it was a great time. I think I genuinely, it sucks that Maydea is over soon, but I think I am going to check out a Maydea movie before the end of it.
Please do. Yeah, your life will be richer because of that. So fair enough.
Do you have a particular one that you'd suggest me like?
I mean, I would say start at Diary of a Mad Black Woman and then just watch all of them. That's probably the best way to take in Medea. Just watch all the Medea movies. Yes, because it is a journey. You, having seen most of them, it is a journey that it's a cinematic universe. You could watch Meet the Browns. You could watch Meet the Browns, the TV series. You could watch Medea's cartoon series. There's a whole, you could torrent the plays.
That it's a journey, but it does seem like a rewarding one.
I mean, I haven't seen the Medea family funeral yet, but I feel like it all pays off. It is her end game, essentially. So I'm very excited to see what happens in that one.
Having not seen it, I'd say watch the Christmas one next. Do like a Christmas in July.
That's a great call, too. Yeah. Jonathan, what'd you think of...
There are no rules to my life. I'm going to enjoy it how I want. Thank you,
exactly. Jonathan, what did you think of Boo and Madea Halloween?
Listen, I really, really enjoyed this. Like you said earlier, I wanted more Medea in the first one. I wanted more craziness. I wanted more zaniness. And this one hacks my planet. It gets my gushy. And I'll watch it again. I'll watch it with you. I'll watch it with anybody. Come at me.
When you watched it, because I know you and your wife kind of have a bit of like a contentious relationship with Medea right now, but did you watch it?
Type situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you watch it with your wife this time? Because I know you forced her to listen to you watch it before, but I don't know if you've actually watched one with her yet.
No, she was at work. I was at home alone, and she'll never see a Medea movie again. I think she would actually enjoy them, though.
I bet she would, yeah.
I think maybe start her off with something like Boo Medea Halloween 2, and then get her back to 1.
Great idea, yeah.
It worked for me. If it worked for me, it can work for her.
Maybe I don't know my wife. Maybe she likes watching stuff out of order.
Yeah, maybe. Have you tried it? You won't try it. Won't know you'll try.
Exactly.
We having you know what out of order, if you know what I mean.
Oh yes.
I don't know what I mean. Could you have? I guess we kiss at the end.
We do. Anyway. We always kiss at the end. That's true.
You could try at the start.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna start with "Was Up" from now on. Opening theme song, and then "Was That" as long as we can hold it, and then start off the show. I think that's a good way to do it.
I give this 19 Medeas out of 20.
Wow, that's your highest rating ever. I think.
Where could we get the other Medea from? Like, where was it lacking? I know that's an extremely high score, but what could have made it better? Maybe just you seeing the bloopers, maybe?
Deborah.
Yeah, I would like to see Deborah off that
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been, instead of Deborah cheating on Brian, it would have been better if she just got back on the stuff and then had ruined her life again.
Like a barbed wire type opening where she's stripping.
Yes.
And there's like rain coming down. And Deborah doing that.
Joe is in the audience going, "Take it off, all of it."
This is the future I want.
Oh, man. Guys, I was trying to shoehorn this into the show at some point. I didn't get to, but I will now. I drank a delicious milkshake while I was watching this movie, And shout outs to Coney Island for making the best milkshakes ever. The flavors that I put in here, and this is going to blow your minds.
You're going to have to bleep that.
I won't bleep it. I want to give them free advertising. If y'all want a delicious ice cream treat, get yourself a peanut butter and pina colada milkshake. It is the perfect combination of sweet and salty. It's beautiful. It's delicious. You will not regret it.
Sounds like the review of a madman. Like
Trust
a
me.
Man who is stoned and crazy.
I haven't been stoned in months. Peanut butter pina colada is the way to go. It is the bomb. It's the best. Oh, I will
try such things, but I have to disagree. Also,
You've never
what did
tried
you
it.
think of this movie?
I give this movie 5 peanut butter pina colada milkshakes out of 5. It's the greatest, much like the pina colada peanut butter milkshake. It's the perfect combination of sweet and salty. Medea's got heart. Medea's got grit. She used to be a stripper. She was a hoe back in the day, but she loves her kids and she wants what's best for them. Exactly. She's going to cash in that ho 1K at one point. But like, she loves her friends, she loves her family, and she loves, I was going to say she loves God, but not really. I think she thinks God's more of a joke, but yeah, I love this one. This was like one of my favorites. It was terrific. So I can't wait to see 2 at Halloween. It's going to be excellent.
What, do you have, quick question. Do you have Letterbox?
Sure, Buzi, yes. No. What is Letterbox?
You need Letterbox because Letterbox is where you go to review movies with your peers.
Oh, okay.
It's like Facebook, but all you do is review. Because there's a ton of lists on there, and I think we need a Medea listing, a rating system for those who've never, who want to get in and watch from worst to best, or some form of that.
I think that's great. From most Medea screen time to least Medea screen time.
There you go. There's a thesis rate in there for you.
I love it.
Nobody's done it.
As far as we know, maybe we could be the first. Maybe we could sell. Here's the thing. Let's sell feet pics, but in the background of our feet pics is our list of all of our favorite Medea movies and what viewing order you should have them in. So people are getting like a 2 for 1.
Ooh, that's a business mind at work right there.
That's true.
You got to use layers when you're using OnlyFans. People want to pay for meta stuff right now.
Exactly.
The subversion.
Exactly. Buzi, where can people find the Terror Table? Promote yourself. Time to be a hoe yourself. Tell us everything about where we can find your products and your feet pics.
Oh, okay. Let me pull up my Hoa 1K here. So, if you guys want to learn about how to sell feet pics, because we're in the business of getting other people invested, not just ourselves, go check out theterrortable.com. We actually have our own website. I know that's not impressive at all.
That's awesome, man.
Kind of. Anyway, you can check all our stuff there. If you want to listen to us, just literally type us in anywhere. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. We have a bunch of stuff we didn't realize we had, but apparently it's there. Yeah, the internet is a powerful machine. Just put the Terror Table in there and you'll be able to find us.
Beautiful.
Truer words have
I'm
never
there
been
right
spoken.
Now, and I love it. I'm having a great time.
The internet is
welcome to the internet, dude.
The internet is a powerful machine. I think that's the perfect thing to end on. Buzi, thanks a million for being on the show, man. This was just as much fun as I hoped. More fun than I thought it would be. It was great.
This is the kind of wholesome Christian content I want to be a part of at all times.
Super normal.
Yeah, super normal.
The normalist.
Super sincere, super real, and super honest. That's what we are.
And
we love you.
And I love you guys, and I love owning libs. So
that's right.
Take that, libs.
The internet is a powerful machine. I love you.
You're learning.
I love you.
I love you.
We love you.
What?
Pure Boys Podcast. You open your app, then listen to us, yeah. On and on. Talking Christian movies, cause it's just the Pure Boys Podcast.
Maydea.
Pure forgot to say that. Dang it. Pure Boys Podcast.
Medea.
Medea.
Medea.